Six Gun Productions. New media, new rules.
This is Geek News Radio. Broadcast 46 for Sunday, September 24th, 2017. Schleichfahrting Around.
You're listening to Geek News Radio, episode 46. I'm Dave in Birmingham.
And I'm Fab in Hamburg.
Whoop whoop.
You're back from holiday. How are you? How's it going?
I'm good. I survived the wilderness. We had a cottage in sort of vaguely near the bottom of Loch Ness. On the
down, what's that, Fort Augusta?
Yeah, near there.
It's nice, nice country there.
It's really good. We had marginally enough internet to get WhatsApp messages through sometimes.
Yeah, I experienced that.
Yeah. Basically, it sort of depended on, like, if it wasn't raining, you could just about send a WhatsApp.
So that with the weather wasn't a joke?
No, the weather was, literally, I think it was a function of the weather, was like how good the signal was.
Mike and me tried to sort something out with Dave, like something that was time critical. And I WhatsApped him because I was like, he must get WhatsApps, right? Because you weren't treating. So I thought, and then it's like, I got a text back from Ellie.
Yeah, because I could, for some reason, I have like major issues texting like non-UK phone numbers. I don't know why. I had it with Mike as well in the past. So I was like, Ellie, quick text Fab, there's a thing happening. I need to sort that out.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in future. I think it's still secret.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, it was really, other than that, it was really good. Went on lots of walks, which meant I got bitten by midges all over. It was good. Went to a pub. There's a pub that's on a barge on the canal, which was really good.
Oh God, I discovered the best thing.
Okay.
So you can't possibly beat this. This is why Hamburg's the best town. So I started this tradition. Katie and me figured out that canoeing is really our thing.
Okay.
So on Sunday, on the past few Sundays, we've always been canoeing. And last Sunday, we went out with friends. And we figured out, so there's a chain of burger places in Hamburg called Peter Pane.
Right.
Which is quite good, actually. And they have, like, one of them backs out to a canal. Like, the back entrance is, there's like a, the Alster here in Hamburg's like this kind of canal river thing that goes through the whole city, basically, which we live next to because we live in Alsterdorf. And it has burger to boat, they call it. You just drive up in a canoe and they hand you in burgers.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's bloody awesome.
So good.
Sorry, but you were talking about canals in Scotland.
Yeah, there's a cool thing. It's like, it's just cool. Like, it's like a weird tiny pub that's just like got loads of locals going to it.
Is this where you can like go with the canal barge and then?
Yeah, you can basically just like turn. I don't know if you can moor next to it. I assume you can. There were other things moored next to it, but it was really cool. That was really nice. Other cool things were we didn't die while driving. The last holiday we went on, we had a major crash, but this time it's fine despite the terrifying state of like rural Scotland's roads.
Oh yes, I did that on a motorcycle.
Yeah, we were driving through it and we were like, how the fuck did Fab not just die?
I almost did. Like I had a crash on the way back, but that wasn't due to the road. But like on like a few days before, it was like kind of raining. We were going down like this curvy road, right? Down like
so any road, literally every
down the hill. And my dad and me come around the corner, and basically there's like a lorry, but like a 40-ton, like a huge lorry, just in the road. So basically, there were two lorries, and one was coming up, one was going down, and they both like they couldn't get past each other for a bit.
Oh shit!
So we come around the corner, like I don't know, doing normal road speed, whatever. Not particularly fast, but fast enough to like, what the fuck? Like, and I don't have ABS, like anti-locking brakes, so I'm just going, and I literally stopped 5 centimeters from the rear bumper of the truck.
Yeah,
I look at my dad, who was like, we were behind each other, right? But if something like that happens, you immediately like, the first one goes left, you go right, or whatever. And I was like next to him, and I very, very, very slowly backed away from the truck.
Yeah, terrifying driving. And then we went up to Skye to stay with some family for a bit. Skye's good. Skye has even more terrifying roads. Like
that's the island, right? Up north.
Yeah. It's quite touristy, which I mean, some people wouldn't like. I kind of appreciated the phone signal and the internet at that point. I was like, oh my god, I'm connected to the world again. It's bearable now. So it's good. It's the second year in a row I've been to Scotland, so maybe next year I'll go somewhere else.
Speaking of Scotland, I'm killing the rest of my bottle of Lagavulin.
Bloody hell.
Because we have to celebrate that the Expanse is now on Netflix. In Europe, everywhere basically except the US and Canada. But we'll talk about that later because I'm rewatching it and I wanna
I would like to rewatch it as well.
Get some feelings out.
I know friend of the show Icarus has rewatched it and said it is better when you binge it.
It is definitely, it's a series you need to binge.
And there's going to be subtitles now, which is going to be nice.
There are. There are subtitles, yes.
When I was watching it, I did not have subtitles, which I always found an issue. I am drinking another old-fashioned, much like last time, because they're delicious.
You keep doing that.
I'm
really sad
really
that this
sugary and lovely. Oh, so good.
I'm really sad that this Lagavulin is now empty. I need to get another bottle.
You do.
Because it's the Expanse. Whiskey's just seen the episode, season 2. Where Avazarala is like in the bar with this Admiral Souther.
Yeah.
Who's just stepped down and he's drinking beer. And she's like, get this man a real scotch. Lagavulin, 16 years. So I guess they still have that. From the Isle of Ela.
Gotta buy more.
You always need more whiskey. So we'll talk about lots of stuff. The Expanse. I want to talk a little bit about Gamescom, although that's already almost too far gone. Forgotten a lot of stuff. Since then, I've been getting back into old games. I've been playing Schleichfahrt, which I want to talk about, and I need to explain to Dave what that is.
What the fuck is Schleichfahrt?
And you need to. It sounds like somebody said. I don't know. I think this was this was like a blog post I read. So somebody says that sounds like that kind of fart you leave when you exit the elevator, like a sneaky fart. Schleichfahrt.
Nice.
And you need to talk about the Switch. You got a Switch, didn't you?
I did. It's wow. It's a good. It makes me happy.
Okay, we'll have to talk about that. I could use one. I'm commuting a lot now, and it's lots of sitting in trains now. So
yeah. That's what I've been using it for. But the first thing on the dock is Ghost.
Ghost, yes.
Because we've both been using Ghost for as long as I can remember.
I kickstarted that.
Yeah. I remember, back when I was running my shitty WordPress installation.
And by use, I mean I don't have time to blog.
I was using like the 6gun server or whatever ages ago. And then, I asked you like what you were running. You were like, Ghost, I've kickstarted it. It's great. And so I was like, okay, Ghost. So it's like 3 years or something.
Yeah, I love that it's Markdown basically.
I'm still enjoying it. So specifically, you've upgraded or something?
You mean me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm still enjoying it. I'm currently looking at Hugo, which is you probably know Jackal from GitHub.
Yes.
And the GitHub pages is the thing called Jackal, which is an engine that basically takes Markdown and like an HTML kind of theme and
Yeah,
then
and it makes
bakes
static
pages. And I'm really looking at that because, security is a thing.
Yes.
And I'm always thinking, like, why the hell? Like, but if you look at Ghost, right?
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great thing. But you're kind of thinking, okay, why the hell am I running a dynamic web page with like a database for this shit?
Yeah.
So I really wanted to look into Jekyll for ages. Of course, it's also like because I like Linux, and you can kind of just, you just feed it a file on the Linux command line, and then you just SCP the resulting stuff to your server, and you're done. Which I like because it's nerdy. But Jekyll is a fucking pain in the ass to get into. It's horrible. Like it's just like I can't really explain what it is. Just like when it's a blogging software. It's not like rocket science, right? So I've been able to come to grips with literally any this kind of CMS whatever software. I mean, I ran 6gun on Drupal for a long time, and like did like custom like Drupal shit. And so if there's something that I'm like reading for like a few hours because I won't get into it, I'm like, what the fuck? It's like it's Rails, which is one of the problems.
It is Ruby, isn't it? Yeah.
Well,
I've literally no experience.
No, it's not Rails. You're right. It's Ruby. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to do some Ruby stuff, but still, it's like that's. But Hugo isn't much better because it's what's the Google language? It's Go.
Yeah.
It's like what the fuck. But that's like Jekyll in, hey, look, this is easy to understand how you like do something with this, right? Mm-hmm. Because of course you need to do templating and need to get a template and shit. And basically you have a folder with your theme, and then you have a folder structure for your posts or whatever, and pages, and then you just go make this into a blog, and it like spits everything you need, including JavaScript, whatever, into a folder. Yeah, and then you just put that folder on your web server, and you're done.
Because I ended up looking at static web page, static blog generation stuff because I kind of for a long time was just terrified of upgrading Ghost because I always just ran my own instance on a tiny thing with like piss poor RAM. And the few upgrades I did, I kind of just jumped major things, which was fine until they changed database engines. They moved from SQLite to better in inverted commas. It's
really? Good, but... I think I haven't upgraded to that point.
Okay, so at some point they changed like the default, and I thought, fuck it, like I know how I feel when customers use non-default settings, and it makes me angry. I'm just like, use the fucking defaults. The defaults because I picked them that way. So I was like, fine, I'll just convert it over, and I managed to like lose a load of stuff. So I kind of got shit scared of upgrading because I was like, oh man, it's gonna fuck everything again. It's gonna be terrible.
I think I haven't done that update. Holy shit!
You might want to consider doing that.
No, I'm.
But now here's the thing with like, I don't know when they added it, but as of like Ghost 1, because it was always like 0 dot whatever was when I was like manually upgrading. The upgrade process was just like turn Ghost off, copy over some files, and then restart it and hope it fucking works. I hope you made a backup. Whereas now they've basically written like a command line utility. I think it's probably in like Node.js or whatever. But now you can just basically just type Ghost update and it will update.
Oh god.
It's really quite slick now. But then I had some issues with like basically because it's using Node. It pulls in every dependency under the sun and needs like so much fucking RAM to do anything. That I was just like farting around. It would just keep failing because I didn't have enough RAM.
You were Schleichfahrting around.
Eventually, I was just, at this point, I was like, man, this is a pain. Maybe I should go look at some static stuff. So I did. I looked at Hugo, I looked at Jekyll, and I was like, fuck. Basically, I think it would be cool if I was just going to be like, right, I am now at my PC where I have set up my SSH keys, and I'm going to like copy some files over to the server.
Yeah,
but but I quite like being able to edit it like wherever the fuck I am, or like from a non-PC device, because I end up most of my posts I end up writing are not written from my PC.
Yeah,
so
I don't do that.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, my use case doesn't really work for that.
I was going to ask you. I was surprised that you looked at that, and I was like, how the hell? Why didn't you like that? But you just answered that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, it all makes perfect sense if I were just like more willing to sit.
Also, you hate Linux.
I don't. I love the Linux application in Windows. I use Bash on Windows all the time.
I can hear like the 3 Linux Outlaws listeners that are left on this podcast. Like,
because Microsoft has made 2017 the year of the Linux desktop.
You sound like fucking egg these days.
It's because we go to the pub.
Yeah, I think that's the problem.
So I kind of thought, fuck it, I'll make Ghost work. I just set up like a swap partition on the fucking server, which I don't know why I didn't do before, because it was just like, oh yeah, if I just do that, suddenly it has more RAM. It doesn't. The install process basically is because then the Node package manager is a piece of shit. Yeah, basically. God. So just installing everything is just like, man, I've got so much fucking.
Actually, I remember this was my biggest problem with Jekyll. I just couldn't install it. Like, I've got normal Ubuntu, like whatever, like the latest Ubuntu, and it's like you can't, like it uses like fucking Ruby gems, which in itself is not a problem. Yeah. Except when you try to, it like needs a dependency and then it just fucking falls apart. And you're like, what the fuck? This is Ubuntu. Yeah, I know you fucking Ruby people are all like Mac guys, but this should really work. And then this Hugo stuff, which was all like Go whatever, I was like, oh, I'm skeptical. Go, what the fuck? Yeah. But that just worked. You can just install it and it works and it looks more human.
Nice. Yeah, so I had a similar thing with Ghost in that the default Ubuntu version of Node is not the right version of it, so I had to faff with that.
Fucking Node.
God fucking damn it.
Node is horrible. I mean, did we talk about this on, yeah, I think we did talk about this on the show. When that one guy pulled like this one Node package.
Yeah, when he pulled left pad.
Yeah, he still, and then everything like fucking broke.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying, but I used it because of a couple of reasons. It is really quite idiot-proof at this point. If you follow the guide, it will set up your like Nginx stuff, which is nice. Because I've never really used it more than just following instructions. I don't really have an understanding of how it works. But the cool thing is, it does your Let's Encrypt for you now.
Really?
Like, it will. Yeah, you just like say, it's like, would you like to do Let's Encrypt? And you say yes, and then it's like, type in your email address. Done. And then boom, you got.
So that's built into Ghost.
It's built into Ghost now.
Wow.
So it was a very easy upgrade of like, boom, I have the latest version of Ghost. I can now upgrade Ghost without copying files and hoping it didn't overwrite anything and fucking up permissions. And it's done the Let's Encrypt stuff. I've not had it running long enough to check that like the cron job or whatever actually bothers to update it.
That's the thing with Let's Encrypt, right?
Yeah. I assume that.
What's that? Every 3 months?
I think it's every 90 days. Yeah. I've not yet hit that, so I don't know. I probably should check before it happens. Which, maybe. I'll just see if it breaks. If it breaks, if it doesn't break, I won't panic.
That's the davidmn.org way.
Yeah, just like, fuck it. Man. If it turns off, then I don't really care. I have had a couple of issues because it's not a wildcard SSL certificate yet. It doesn't. Let's Encrypt doesn't have that yet.
Yeah, isn't it yet? I think they don't want that, right?
No, apparently it's coming in the future. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work. But all my weird kind of GIF forwarding things.
Yeah. I've never understood why they don't do that. I mean, normal CAs, they don't want that, so it's really expensive because they want to sell you all the different certs. But what's the problem with Let's Encrypt? It's not like the security angle because it's not like people weren't abusing Let's Encrypt.
I read that kind of hand wavy thing of like they kind of it's difficult to prove you have ownership over arbitrary subdomains, but at that point you're like, but it's Let's Encrypt, so it's just like any
I mean, do they actually check anything anyway? Like I get so much.
They do.
I always check. I get so much HTTPS spam now.
Yeah.
Like phishing. Like that uses like bank phishing, and they use Let's Encrypt.
So I think
to do HTTPS domains for like pseudo domains.
It's been a very long time since I read how it worked, but they don't check who you are. They just check that you own the server that, and they do it so, that you own the server that it's forwarding to, that the URL.
Hey, I own deutschepank.de.
Well, so and they do
I actually own that.
Yeah, and they do that by like writing a file at that address and then reading the value back.
Yeah, that is great. But like if I register deutschepank.de,
or like you have one of the random symbols that looks like a D, like do a homographic attack or whatever. But
homophobic attack.
Homographic attack. So things that look the same. So
I know what I just didn't know it was called that, and I'm writing about this shit.
Yeah, it's a fancy word.
You and your damn homophobic attacks.
No, definitely not that. So I think proving you own arbitrary subdomains that don't exist is the problem. But I think they're basically relaxing that and getting it to work. But right now it's not. So I've had no issue looking at any like using the like whatever subdomain. So like I've got indeed.davidamend.org that links to a Stargate GIF of Teal saying Indeed because like I have the need to GIF things. I've had no issue with loading it, but I've had people on iOS sometimes being like, man, this is a dodgy connection.
Yeah, visitors on iOS. What the fuck's wrong with them?
I mean, they're in the right because I really want.
What?
I'll talk about that at some other point maybe, but I'm thinking hard about Android right now.
You want an iPhone?
What I want is software updates.
Why are we doing this show? Shouldn't you be like watching the Apple keynote?
I have been watching bits of it, and some of it looks like piss. Some of it looks like
if you want software updates, just get a Google phone.
Yeah, but Android's kind of piss.
Like, I told you this was the problem when you got a OnePlus, didn't I?
Yeah, but like, so the point, right? Here is the problem. If I am buying a Google Pixel, at that point, that is iPhone money.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'd rather have like a thing that has like I
have you used iOS lately?
It's all right. They're both terrible. Like that's the thing.
iOS is crap.
Whatever device I'm going to use, I'm going to hate.
You know what I fucking hate about iOS? Apple has just stupid, dumb, shitty things. Like how all the icons are always on the home screen?
Yeah.
And you can't just go, no, I don't want that icon on the home screen because it has no fucking menu. Like, what the fuck? I don't want that icon on the home screen. Let me erase that fucking item. What the hell's wrong with you? No, all the items have to be on the home screen. Jawohl, mein Führer. What the fuck's going on?
But in what way? So on my home screen, I have like stuff that I really want to get to quickly, like rapidly stuff.
And time to Hitler, by the way. People were complaining. I just fixed that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Everything else hidden in the menu. Yeah.
Everything hidden in the massive menu, which is functionally the same as an iOS thing. So it's just basically like, to me, there's like no difference there to me at all.
Right. I have two home screens where all the important apps are, and all the other crap that I maybe need once a year is in the big menu, which I can search.
Yeah, but on iOS, you just like make two home screens and then shuffle stuff up.
On iOS, I have like 15 home screens. You know how many apps I've got installed? Jesus Christ.
You just have like the ones you want and then put things in like a...
Yeah, but I have these like little dots at the bottom and it shows me I have like 5 home screens. I don't want 5 home screens.
I mean,
What's next, Dave? Are you getting a fucking Apple Watch?
Nah, probably not.
You were thinking about it. I heard it there. You were thinking about this shit.
I mean, they're kind of cool. They're not cool. I prefer my slow watch. I like my dumb, weird telling time at 15-minute increments.
That's better than an Apple Watch.
Yeah. But like, so like the thing, my differentiator right now is that I would like software updates. So that's basically, you get a Google Pixel or you get an iPhone. Everything else is out because like OnePlus don't do it. Like fucking Samsung don't give you updates. I could put like lineage on it. I thought about it, but also there's no like guarantee that like.
I think BlackBerry is pretty good.
But do they make nice, beautiful devices? Like the OnePlus X is a very nice looking device.
Probably not the BlackBerry.
Exactly, that's the thing.
Go ahead, get an iPhone. We'll get 3 years of Dave whinging about how shitty iOS is.
Maybe, but the differentiator is that I would like software updates because I'm acutely aware that my Pixel C gets updates every month, which is great. I love the Pixel C; it's really good. But Android phones, the only one you're going to get that is like.
I'll say something which will really shock you because I write about security and I write about this shit, right? Mm-hmm. So this fucking Nexus 5 is like kind of dying. Mm-hmm. 5X. It's like it's fucking. They're all fucked. They did like LG did something with the chips in there, like with the CPU cores, and at some point they'll all die. So and this one's already like it's fucked. I'm not gonna buy a Pixel. Way too expensive. I'll just, you know what I'll do? Mm-hmm. I'll just get. I'm now at the point where I'm thinking about a OnePlus or something. I'll just get a phone that's reasonably nice at a reasonable price, and when it breaks, it's just like kind of like a burner. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't care about the fucking software updates. These things, they don't get owned anyway. I mean, I never had malware on my smartphone ever since I've had a smartphone, which was the first. I mean that I don't get fucking software updates. What do they change with the new Android version? There's like I read like we had a thing on Heise Online, like a colleague wrote, "Oh, this is all the changes in Android Oreo," and I'm like, "Oh, the name's stupid." So what are the actual changes? Well, fuck all. They don't change anything anymore.
Yeah, I suppose. I'm
post smartphone.
Whoa,
I think
I'm still not that. I kind of want updates, and basically, you pick the Pixel or you pick the iPhone. Pixel has fewer years of updates.
I am not gonna buy a smartphone that's more than €800. I mean, what the actual? I wouldn't even buy one that's more than like 500. What the actual fuck? You're gonna drop it into the toilet. I'm gonna drop it in the Ulster next time I go canoeing.
Yeah,
it's gonna die. Like this one got wet, so I drove from Hanover, like from work to here on my motorcycle, and like I got into the worst fucking rainstorm you've ever seen. It was so bad. I thought the engine of my motorcycle would die from the water. Wow. And I have this like waterproof, motorcycle pants, and they've got like they're external pockets, but they're completely waterproof. Like they're like fold over, they're like laminated, basically fold over things. And my phone was in there, and it got wet. Like it was so wet, actually the water was coming up my trouser legs.
Wow.
When I shit you not, when I arrived in the parking garage, my pretty waterproof motorcycle boots had like a centimeter of water in them. Mm-hmm. I like actually upended them and the water came out. And so the phone it's got now at the bottom, the screen, bottom half, like the bottom bits of the screen is like weird. It's like I put it in rice and turned it off and whatever, so it reduced it a little bit, but there's still like some white shit. Like it looks weird. Yeah. It just happens. These things die. You can't spend 1,000 euros on that. So how many pounds is the new iPhone? At like 2,000 pounds?
I didn't watch it for that. It's going to cost shitloads, which is then like, man, it's not worth it. Because eventually the battery, I will inevitably like leave it plugged in overnight every night. The battery will turn to shit and I'll want a new one. So like, what if I do just get like another OnePlus something? And just go software updates.
Yep.
But then I do want them. So I don't know, Fab. I'm stuck in this position where there isn't a phone that I want.
You just want them because you're OCD. I get them. I get the security updates every month. Does it do anything for me? No.
Yeah, but
if this thing gets owned, it'll get owned anyway.
Maybe.
Microsoft actually calls this post-breach. Just assume that you've been hacked. I like that. They came. They visited our office last year. That was in December, and that was like their thing. Post breach.
Oh, what, so we're living in a post
Yeah, everybody, like in enterprise, you gotta assume that you already breached. Like all your strategies have to, like the first point in your cyber defense strategy.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Is
I love the word cyber. It's so
me
good.
too. I've completely embraced it. I've recommended myself to Die Partei, the party and Martin Sonneborn. I said if they need a cyber minister, call me. I'm there. He actually retweeted it. That was great. Got retweeted by an MEP. Woo!
Sweet.
Yeah. So no, it's post breach.
Yeah. So I think we're vaguely talking about Let's Encrypt and Ghost updates. Yeah. So now it's all lovely. It's good. I have, since doing the kind of update to post 1.0, I've run the update Ghost command twice. So I've done it like twice in a month or whatever. So it's kind of, yeah, I feel like I should just like set it up like a job that just runs it every week.
We like a cron job.
Yeah, set up a cron job or something just to run it every week, so I never have to worry about it. Because that was one of the nice things about WordPress, is that it would just do the auto update, right?
Yeah.
That was a thing.
It's still a thing.
Yeah, but like I don't use WordPress, so I have no idea. Like I meant it was a thing that I used.
Six Gun Productions use that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm enjoying Ghost. I wrote a post because
A ghost post.
A ghost post because last week X1101 asked about podcasts, and we cut it short because Joe had to run. So I wrote a post about that. So if you're kind of vaguely interested, I kind of didn't go through all 29 podcasts I have in my feed. I sort of like took a.
I'll put a link in the show notes. Just
Yeah, I'll whack that in the show.
Your connection is not secure. The owner of davidmn.org has configured their website improperly. To protect your information from being stolen, Firefox has not connected to this website.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
davidmn.org uses an invalid security certificate. The certificate's only valid for www.davidmn.org.
This is interesting.
So if I go to that, it's okay.
It should just work. Fuck's sake. Okay, so if I remove that in Chrome, does Chrome complain? Chrome doesn't. But Chrome just.
I like your header. Your blog looks amazing. I like it.
There we go. So yeah, go read that if you want
to
know.
It's got a great subtitle as well. Probably board games. Probably not.
Probably board games. Apart from it's not recently. So yeah, go read my things. Go listen to other podcasts. All that jazz. That was kind of my.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to Hugo. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna wipe all the content from my blog again. And then do that.
You're gonna break all the links, fam. You're gonna break the links.
Fuck the links. Why the hell is it called Hugo? By the way, that's a stupid name.
I have no idea.
In Germany, that's a brand of alcohol-free sparkling wine.
What?
So it's like it's the worst. What? Pocket Cast has Sonos support?
Oh yeah. Have you not seen this?
No. How does that work?
If
fuck me dead.
It's not perfect, but it is in like alpha stage. So if you go to your Sonos app and go like add music services, and if you scroll down to like the bottom, there's the Sonos Labs one.
Mm-hmm.
In there, you've got stuff like Plex and other stuff like that. But you've got Pocket Cast. You sign in with your Pocket Cast account.
Wow.
And it's kind of cool. So it will remember what podcast you've not listened to. So it'll have unlistened ones. So you can just you hit go, and I'm pretty sure it just streams it over. Like it's not like caching it, or like you're not like Chromecasting it or whatever. And then if you finish an episode, it'll update that, so it'll be played, so it won't be blue anymore. And eventually, it'll update in your app. The only thing it doesn't do right now is that it doesn't remember position within an episode, which is kind of a problem. So right now, I'm kind of like
kind of a problem with 3 hour long GNR.
Yeah, that's kind of so it's not great, it's not ideal, but I'm hoping they can.
It sounds good, and I just learned of that, so awesome.
Yeah, I think they can add it, because I'm pretty sure the desktop, the kind of web client and the mobile client will sync progress. I'm pretty sure it does. I've never tried it, but I've read people claiming such things, which is as good as fact. So I assume once it's like out of the lab stage, it'll have a bit better support.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really good. It changed my life.
I like it. You say about miniatures monthly. It's from the Crate and Crowbar network.
Yeah, I was like, is it a network? Because they got like video stuff, and they've talking about other things. Like
They're more a network than us. Got more than one show. Fuckers.
That's all right. We can count streams and shit.
Yeah, we're completely like I'm still working on the solo politics show.
Oh man,
Fab shouts at the world.
Oh god. Wait, how is that different from this?
I shout more.
Oh god.
It starts like this. Welcome to Fab Shouts at the World. Hello world. I'm shouting at you. And I bumped the table a lot. I hit everything.
Yeah. Fuck the tape.
It's my Alex Jones moment.
That's pretty good.
What the hell are they turning the fucking frogs gay?
That is such an old reference now. I feel I referenced Boxy the other day. Do you remember Boxy?
Oh god. Fuck me.
I referenced Boxy and someone didn't get it.
That's like 50 years ago.
It was like 2008. And I was like, this is me getting old.
Boxy. Fuck, I can see the logo in front of it. They had a really weird logo. The Alex Jones thing is like, have you seen the thing where he sells like Huel or whatever? Like,
yeah.
Like, this is delicious. And his face is like, fuck, I'm eating my own turd right now.
Yeah. That's maybe a thing that we can agree on, is that he was fucking bad.
You and Alex Jones.
Yeah.
I'm with Mega Slippers on this. Huel is fucking shit.
Tastes like vomit, looks like vomit.
Oh god, yes. Facebook keeps selling that, trying to sell that to me.
Honestly, how do I make it stop? How do I make them go away? I just report a spam like this is offensive to my taste buds. Like, it's just, fuck off.
Yeah, just flag it as fake news.
Flag it as just fucking piss. If we can, actually no, because I can deal with Huel because it's just like I can kind of just block it out because I remember how bad it tastes. What is super annoying is all the fucking Kickstarter things of like, here is an amazing fucking backpack, or like this multi-tool is the only multi-tool you'll need. I'm like, I don't want to kickstart you stupid tap. Fuck off. It's not a board game. I'm not kickstarting it. It makes me so angry every time, and I have no idea how to make it stop. Like,
that should be your blog. It's not a boardgame.org.
But then I'll just fuck up the Let's Encrypt certificate again, and it'll be pissed.
I think that's Let's Encrypt's fault.
I think it is. I think it's specifically because it's not wild.
I can remember a colleague of mine who shall not be named when Let's Encrypt was new.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Oh yeah, we're in CT. We really have to do like the major story about Let's Encrypt. It's amazing." It's great. It's like all this open source stuff. It's so easy to deploy. He was pitching the story,
yeah.
And then people were like, yeah, please do the article. And then you could hear him like doing the research for like 3 weeks for the article. That was like incessant. Like he didn't really swear, but like if it was me, it would have been like a Verzerala level kind of swearing. Coming from his desk, like, why isn't this working? I thought I had this working yesterday, and now it doesn't work anymore. It's great.
Yeah, God.
Well, they've gotten a lot better. That was like before they launched, but still.
I don't fucking understand.
How can you like? It's like this is like everybody said. How can you do this wrong? Like, you know, how can CAs earn so much money with like this simple certificate crap? Yeah. And then they did it themselves, and they were like, "Oh, maybe they're getting paid for a reason."
Maybe, yeah. Piss. I'm fucked off with that now. Fuck Let's Encrypt.
I like it. It's good.
Chuck it in the bin.
Let's talk about
put text files on fucking 4chan.
Let's talk about stuff that is wholesome.
Wholesome things like German video game conventions.
Well, that wasn't. That was horrible.
Oh.
Well, it was kind of fun. Had some fun moments.
It was your first like games convention, basically, wasn't it?
Well, it was my first reporting. No, I was there last year. Just for a day, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But like this year was like I've been there before, like privately, right? So
yeah.
But it's getting bigger and bigger, and it's getting more millennial every year. And it's like I remember. So me and a colleague, we go there and we go to you know how big companies have these things that they don't do at the trade show. They're like in the same town somewhere else, and they drive you there with a
they like
shuttle.
hold their meetings and stuff.
And I won't
somewhere pleasant.
I won't name the manufacturer, but we arrived there at like the desk where you kind of like get your credentials, whatever. And the girl like says to my colleague, "So what's your gamer name?"
Oh.
And he's like, "What the fuck? What? Oh, you can tell me your real name. What outlet are you from?" Like Heise? Like, how do you spell that? Like, and then the whole thing was full of like YouTube influencers. Oh, wow. It's like the cool thing to have a few years back. Everybody with a blog wanted that was like a press badge.
Yep.
And that's not cool anymore. Now you need to have an influencer badge.
Whoa.
And I mean, I can understand why like manufacturers and publishers and stuff really like influencers, because unlike these pesky journalists, they just say and write whatever you tell them.
They lap it up
for like a free Steam key. And oh god, it's like, maybe it's because I'm old and these people are young. And I think you're laughing, but they're younger than you.
Oh yeah.
And they I know that they know what they're doing. Like they can do video. They've got all this equipment. They've got like Steadicam rigs and shit. And I'm walking around there with like my laptop and writing stories. And I'm like, this is not my world anymore. Something's gone wrong.
Burn it to the ground.
Yeah, but then I saw some really cool stuff. I mean, Wargaming was amazing. Their booth, like they had a tank on the booth, of course.
They had Sabaton.
Played on the booth, burned it down, was amazing. Then I went to the party. Like I didn't know they were playing on the booth, so I signed myself up for the party to like cover the concert.
Mm-hmm.
But then they played 2 days before, so I just went to the booth when they played there and just took photos there and wrote a story. And then I just went to the party for a freebie. And I actually did some research. I talked to some World of Tanks players and stuff. Do you know that they have 550 developers on that game? It's fucking... Bonkers. I think I said that before. Yeah, it's just like... It just blew my mind.
So I've been thinking about that as well, because, like, you always hear, like, the ludicrous number of people involved in, like, Assassin's Creed and stuff. And that's because, like, they've got engine people. Okay, that makes sense. They've got, like, tech people. But they've got shit tons of, like, game designers, like level designers and stuff, because there's just so much like content in the world to build.
I think they're tank designers.
Yeah. So like I don't see like how there's like 500 persons worth of work in there. Like it feels like there's loads of like technology and stuff to do, but like fundamentally like it's not like they have to go, oh well here's another level for the tanks to like parkour in. It's like, well here is the map, which is designed and presumably is like carefully balanced, but like once it is balanced, they kind of don't change it.
Yeah, but I don't think there are so many people doing that. But there's a hell of a lot of like UI work around that. Like World of Tanks has a lot of UI. I mean, I've played it a bit recently, and it's like, and I think there's just people doing like content.
Yeah,
I think it's basically what they're basically doing is what Star Citizen is doing, except they have a game.
Yeah, I was gonna make that joke.
Which you can play, which is an actual game. And the pixels they sell, you can actually use in the game.
They're interactive,
and they have Sabaton voices. Yeah. And this tank's amazing. It's awesome. I've got like my 30 euros worth easily. I'm turning the music. I'm just turning the soundtrack off in game. And you know, we moved. We consolidated households. So we have 3 Sonos now. And I'm just like, Katie's not here. I'm like, okay, I'm done with work. I'm in home office. I'm done with work. I'm just like, play World of Tanks. Cue the Sabaton playlist. Play an hour of World of Tanks. It's amazing. And then Primo Victoria comes up and I'm driving the tank. And I'm getting like a warm feeling in my belly.
It's so good. It's amazing. Yeah, I've been playing Hearts of Iron 4. And Sabbath and stuff. Come on, it's like, it's so good. Although I am just sitting here like waiting for technology to research actually at war. But it's pretty good.
Another thing I saw at Gamescom, which I can recommend, but you know, disclosure, ethics in video game journalism.
Oh my god!
Our friend that you may know, Char. This is our little Gamergate moment. Char is of course a writer on Divinity, Original Sin 2, the game with the worst name in gaming history.
I don't know.
There's Riven. Oh, you mean the Schleichfahrt?
Schleichfahrt, the English version.
Yeah, the English version of that name is horrible. But yeah, so I saw that. I got a briefing, some stuff that was under NDA, which isn't anymore, like the undeath character they have, Fane.
Yes.
Which is amazing, which has do you see the Face Ripper?
Yeah.
So it has the ability called Face Ripper. Which is great. It looks really, really good. They voiced all the lines. There's like 1 million words of dialogue in that game.
Yeah,
they voiced everything.
I am like super hyped
for the first time, and that is fucking amazing. It's really good quality dialogue as well, as far as I can tell.
They've been posting little bits of it on their Facebook page. It's really good.
Because
the one thing that I was kind of worried about, like back when like we got the green light, like did the green light backing, whatever, was that there's so much text, and I know it's good, but I'm really lazy, and if it's not like read to me, I'm probably just gonna skip it and assume.
Fucking millennials too lazy to read.
I'm just gonna infer what to do from like tooltips, but if it's all voiced, I'll just like sit there and listen to it.
Didn't Char say that you wrote a hell of a lot of the tooltips?
I believe so, yeah.
Because they are amazing. And also, of course, Ethan is great. So I've been actually... voicing. So the guy I was talking to, the developer I was talking to, who briefed me on the game, was completely agreed that Ethan is the way to go. Mm-hmm. And we were basically...
Playing as Ethan or having Ethan as your NPC?
So, you know how we talked about this and Char said, like, if you play with him... It's different. I think it's a bit different, but we have to talk to her. We'll get her on like after the games. She's in crunch mode right now. She'll be dead for weeks afterwards. We'll get her on when her brain's working again. But I think you can also just have him as a character because he'll just interact with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But so basically, I got like the briefing that all the journalists got with this guy for like an hour. And then actually another team was coming in and into their like briefing room, and we went out and we just reminisced for half an hour about Event. That was fun. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Divinity. My problem is that it's coming out in like this week, like next week, I think.
I think it's it's like 4 days away, 3 days away.
Yeah, today's like the 12th. I could actually play it today because I have a pre-launch key, but I don't have time. So the thing is, I have zero time. Like I talked about this before. I'm gonna be three weeks in Australia in October, and then we're gonna do a week of Fiji. And there's like there's lots of stuff to do, and I have to wrap up all the work stuff I need to do before that. So I'm like completely got no fucking time, but I'm really looking forward to that game. Saw that was really good. What else did I see that stood out? Merkel was opening it. That was
I saw that. That was hilarious.
Bit of a downer. But I sat with the whole like all the top politicians. I was like, it's like in school. So you're there. There's like this hall. And Merkel will turn up and speak. And like the first 2 rows are just like reserved for like members of parliament and shit. Mm-hmm. And then that was like the first row. There were people from like Canada because that was the partner country. Like not the ambassador, but some, high ranking guy. And then the row after that was like all the like the local politicians from Cologne. And then the first normal row, like people go in and they all sit at the back. Like in school, I always sat at the front.
Yeah, I could get away with more shit at the front.
Yeah, because everybody thinks, well, they notice you at the front. No, they'll look at the back because all the people who are unprepared are not sitting in the front. So my strategy is always not being prepared, sitting in the front and just making shit up, which is why I became a journalist. But anyway, so I sat in the first row and nobody else did. I think I sat there with like behind all the local Cologne politicians, which was kind of cool, which I kind of know because my father used to be in politics in Duisburg, and the world's small. But I knew a lot of the faces and whatever. And then there was like a guy from, oh God, I forgot. Was he from like a really small South American country? It wasn't Chile. God, I have to look this up. Otherwise, he was really nice. I talked to him the whole time. He's basically saying I'm the only like kind of press for my country here. So they let me into anything because I'm literally the only guy from that country. Is it Costa Rica? I think it was Costa Rica. Yeah, I think it was from Costa Rica.
Fair.
What was it? It wasn't Uruguay. It wasn't Paraguay. I think it was Costa Rica. So a really small country. And he was like, yeah, they'll just let me into anything. It was kind of cool. He was a really nice guy. But then another thing, which brings us, well, I talked about the Sabbath and stuff. That was like my highlight. That was great, shaking hands and all that. But you don't want to hear that anymore. I saw, okay, we gotta go back in time. And we're gonna talk about Schleichfahrt. So when I was a little kid, no, I'll have to look this up again. When I was very small, I think in '95, this must have been, this game came out in '96. Okay, so there was this game which I really, really liked. It was like a submarine game. This actually kickstarted my whole fascination with submarines, my then lifelong fascination. So this is a game that's set in the future, several hundred years in the future. But basically, I think I read this is really funny because I read this is like science fiction from '96, right? So in the hand, I still have the box here, by the way. So in the manual, it says like, yeah, so the world started to go to shit in like 2016 or something. So basically, the world wars break out. The world ends. And the only, like, there's nuclear war and the Earth is made uninhabitable. And the only survivors survive in like deep sea stations. Right. And this is a few hundred years on, so the continent's been flooded, whatever. But like the ocean is covered by what's called the POM layer, which is like just dead organic matter, which is completely irradiated. So you can't go higher up than 200 meters. Otherwise you'll be like irradiated, whatever. And this is set in the future. It was a German game. Schleichfahrt is German. It's actually in the sport. They use this term a lot. It's a German term for silent running. And this was developed by guys in Mannheim, but the publisher, which later Blue Byte was at some point then bought by Ubisoft, I think.
Okay.
And they're in Düsseldorf, this is like they were really close to where I was born. And so I found this game. It looked amazing for the time. It's like a DOS game, but like this is like a first person like sub simulation, but it's like in the future, and it's basically one could say it's a Wing Commander clone, except it's underwater. So there's like you always have the ocean floor. That's it makes it a bit more interesting than just a space sim. Because like people shoot torpedoes at you, and you can just always try to get them just hit the ocean floor instead of you. It was just a great game with a great story, and with a German story, and just amazing. And it wasn't well known outside of Germany. They translated it into English, and it was released in '97. It says here, in the US. Under the name Achaemenian Dynasty,
which is the worst name.
It has nothing to. It has nothing to do with the, with anything with the content of the game. I mean, Schleichfahrt, silent running, yes, in this game. So basically, there are a lot of missions. So your engine makes a noise. And your sonar makes a noise, and you can actually turn your sonar off, which then degrades your like scan of enemy ships, which is just going to be like passive from there on. You can then actually turn your engine off, and just like there's like especially canyons with like water currents, so you can actually like infiltrate enemy bases by just like riding a current and turning your engine off. So silent running is an actual mechanic in the game. So that makes sense. But Archimedean Dynasty doesn't make any sense. As far as I can tell, it's, Archimedes had that law with the buoyancy of...
Yep.
That's basically what submarines use to go up and down. Buoyancy in something submerged in a fluid, something. But like that name's horrible. A game you might know was a follow-up game to this called AquaNox. And
I have heard of, but I haven't played.
And then there was AquaNox 2 as well.
I've looked up AquaNox 2, and the artwork looks like someone saw Ghost in the Shell and was like, "What? Put this underwater?" It's my kind of jam. I dig this.
The thing is, it doesn't really have that much to do with the. I love Schleichfahrt. It has this certain. You should actually play it. I just figured out it's on GOG.
Yeah,
it's
on GOG, and so is AquaNox 2.
You should try Schleichfahrt. It actually holds up really well. Like the graphics, you can tell it's like really old, but it has this kind of, I think it's vector style, like Comanche back in the day. That actually, it doesn't look horrible. Like it's actually playable. I've been playing it. It's really good. I'm now a quarter through again, maybe. It's really fucking hard. This has taught me that video games back in the day used to be fucking hard. It has no difficulty setting. It has no checkpointing in the missions. It's fucking badass. But like the story was really good. So it's like the story the names are a bit weird. So the main character is called Emerald Deadeye Flinch. Wow. It actually, I don't know how good. I suspect it'll be shit in English, but like the German, this one writer who wrote the whole story. He wrote all of the dialogues. He also wrote like most of AquaNox and AquaNox 2, but in this he wrote everything. And it's basically so you do these missions, and it's like this sub-sim game or whatever, and then between the missions you're like in the stations. And it's really atmospheric. You see like the station from the outside. It's like a little bit animated. And then inside you just see like, if you click on a room, you just see like silhouettes and whatever. You see like the room outline. And then you just have text back and forth. So it doesn't have that Wing Commander thing where they made like these, live action movie sequences, which in the day were fucking amazing because you didn't have like movie stuff in games. It like blew your mind back in the 90s. But if you watch that today, it's just like fucking cringy. Yeah. Wing Commander, the fucking Kilrathi, it's like the makeup. It's just like, no, it's like teddy bears. It's horrible. And this doesn't have it. It actually ages really well. There is no voice acting. It's just like all the text, and the text, like the German text, is really good. It has like lots of, it's a bit corny, but it works. It has like this all this like sailor slang, right, and jokes, and there's lots of banter with like prostitutes and whatever.
They should add Ailstorm DLC.
They should. Like Elsa would actually work. I should listen to Elsa. Like, the soundtrack isn't bad. The soundtrack is very like Kraftwerk because it's a German game. But there, it actually is. There's lots of banter like with prostitutes where they tell you to go fuck your torpedo tube or whatever. It's actually quite good. I just love it because it made such a huge impact on me because I was this young. I can actually remember, like, I've been playing this again. It's like this huge nostalgia trip because okay, when you go to a station, it says like, it tells you the place of the station and what they do there, right, like mining or whatever. And it's like this lady who voiced all of this. And I played this again, and I heard like this. It's like it says like Magellan, Abbau biogener Sedimente, 3429 Meter. It says you like the depth the depth
Yeah.
of how deep you are. And it's like I hear that, and I immediately I'm back like in my childhood room, sitting there on the weekend, like when I had done all my homework, and I had like half a day and I would just play Schleichfahrt the whole time. And I think it was the first game that had a world that really pulled me in, because the writing is just good. It's just like this kind of future. It's like that was the same time when Sequest came out.
Yeah,
which
there was the whole nautical thing back then.
Yeah, well, I still have that nautical thing. Like that's still like I love the sea. I've always loved the sea, and this is like my. It's just great. I mean, this is why this is perfect because I moved to Hamburg. This is why I always wanted to be here, because of all the nautical crap. Now I have like I can go 300 meters and I could have a boat and basically just go down the river. It's really amazing. So I just love that game, and Oh, by the way, I'll have to rewatch Sequest next year.
Okay,
I'll talk about this on the show.
Is it, that's the year that Sequest.
Yes, it is set in 2018. Which is gonna be amazing. We're gonna do a special episode about this.
We should watch it like episode by episode. Start like a Sequest quest, like the X-Files files.
Oh, I've got it all. I've got all the DVDs, so I'll research it. I'll research when it actually starts.
The Schleichfahrt game reminds me a lot. Like it's the same kind of thing as I think it's probably older. No, probably yeah. I would have been younger. Yeah, so in like 2001, there was this game called Project Eden, which it's all of the same feelings you're saying now, except that it like kind of explains why I'm into kind of like weird kind of cyberpunk stuff, because it's like there's the whole setting of like there's like a lovely utopian world on the top, but there's like the city delving deep down and there's weird shit happening. And I think exactly it's that. You can get that on GOG as well.
It's that it's also that factor. It's that time in your life, when you're old enough, you're getting in that time when you're like old enough that you're not completely like dumb and you learn stuff in school and you like it's kindled your imagination, but you're still young enough that you're not jaded and you've still got time to play for like 8 hours a day video games and shit like that, and
just like, obsess about like this probably quite bad story, but like that was like my world while I was playing it.
Well, I just love that because that's also why I liked Sequest, because that was like a really unique angle in science fiction back then. That was like everybody did space, and this was like the thing. And I've been thinking about this a lot, like because I'm playing this and I'm like I'm thinking about that kind of story, and I think it's really plausible. It's like both Sequest and AquaNox had this thing of like we didn't go to space. And the more I look at the world, the more I think this is like believable. It's more believable that we go to the sea, whatever, because we have to, because we're fucking. It's gonna flood everything anyway.
And we'll trap ourselves.
And then
space debris.
Yeah, and then the thing is that if you look into it, like being underwater is a lot. Like I've actually been comparing like the setting to the Expanse, which is really realistic, like space stuff. But this is like living underwater is a lot harder because you've got the fucking pressure. I mean, in space, you've got like a one bar, pressure differential.
It's way harder to withstand the pressure underwater than it is to.
You have like radiation problems in space. And whatever,
that's a fairly large problem.
But like if you're 3,000 meters under the sea, that's a fucking like where do you get your food from? You know. Where do you go? How do you get your energy? How do you?
The failure mode of your vehicle in both cases, you're fucked.
Yeah, well, in space you actually like if you watch the Expanse, you're not that fucked. You can go out in a spacesuit, and you can even open like your helmet.
Yeah.
Underwater, no spacesuit, no suit.
So I've been reading a book series. I'll probably end up talking about more later on because I want to kind of finish it before I can say it's great. But there's this series called The Laundry Files. And it's breaking news, I'm into kind of genre fiction with files at the end of the name, like the Dresden files. But so, do you remember Rum Doings, the podcast?
Yeah.
Nick Mailer recommended it like 4 years ago. I then forgot what it was called and could only describe the plot. And the idea is that magic is real, but you do magic with computers. And they're like, basically maths is magic. And then there was a post on the Larian Studio Facebook page. It's like, what's your favorite magic thing? And I was like, well, like, what universe has your favorite magic? I'm like, well, it's the idea that like computing does magic, but I don't know where it's from. And someone just popped up immediately. It was like, oh, it's the laundry files. So I picked up like
the name is shit, by the way.
It sounds like a shit name, but it's kind of like a fun. It's a spy novel thing. It's like it's not horror. There are some horrible things in it, but it's like a spy thing with kind of Cthulhu-y things, which is normally a thing I don't go in for. But it's just enough kind of eldritch horror bullshit to like fly under the radar. But the name comes from like in World War II, they set up like the counter kind of demon espionage unit, and they are running it from an office above a laundry. So they call the department the laundry, and the name stuck. That's where the name. That's a kind of cool thing. But in that, there's loads of stuff about like there are things living underwater, and we do not fuck with them because they're Cthulhu basically. And it's kind of like
that sounds like something Chris Thurston would be fucking terrified.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he probably wouldn't deal well with the idea
with
of
his
the
fear
deep
of
ones.
Yeah.
I think you might like it. They're really short reads. Like honestly, I read quite slow, and I read 3 of them in a week. So it's the good shit. But I'll probably like review them later on once I've finished all of them. But yeah, Sequest. We should watch it next year.
Yes, Sequest. We should. I should tell people why I got into Schleichfahrt again.
Yeah, you sort of transitioned into it. Yeah.
At Gamescom, I saw something that I should have heard of, but I didn't. So somehow, Schleichfahrt were the rights, I have no idea. But AquaNox was like some other studio that I've forgotten the name, got bought by Ubisoft, whatever. It turns out THQ Nordic has the rights.
Okay.
And a while ago, they kickstarted a game called AquaNox Deep Descent.
Right.
Which is now about to be released. Which is a reboot of the Schleichfahrt AquaNox universe. So apparently they say it's like new story or whatever, but like people who've played the old games will find the story, find lots of familiar things. So it's the same thing. Earth's surface is becoming uninhabitable, whatever. I'll put a link in the show notes. It looks really great. I will definitely buy it, check it out, whatever. Didn't really have time to look at it at Gamescom. I just saw them demoing it, and it's the same thing. It's like there's gonna be multiplayer stuff with like dogfights, whatever, with submarines, but also like a story. And the only thing I've seen is I read some blog posts by them, and I've seen screenshots, and they look really good. I mean, AquaNox and Schleichfahrt had one thing in common. I mean, the technology was very different, but it had a very particular look, which is also a look that Sequest shares. I think Schleichfahrt, which with very limited technology at the same time, had the same pros from this as Sequest had, where Sequest was the first show where they rendered CGI on the video toaster. It was before Babylon 5, and where in Babylon 5 the CGI scenes look horrible today.
They do indeed.
Yeah, they actually still look kind of good in Sequest, which is because they rendered whatever it was, and the video toaster had this habit of everything was very blue. I don't know why, but it had this thing. And in Sequest, they put just very heavy filters over it, like, shading, so you basically couldn't see anything because it's underwater.
Yeah.
And that actually looks really good. And that kind of look is what AquaNox and Schleichfahrt had in common as well. That deep sea look. And I'm just probably because of the nostalgia we talked about. I love it. I have no idea. I've actually talked to people. I have no experience with THQ Nordic. I'm just looking at apparently they did Wormerand times Vermintide, which I haven't played, but heard good stuff about.
It's a thing that people have.
They made a lot of things. I look at the list, and I don't think I've played any of this.
Good. Then did they make Alan Wake?
Yeah, at least they were part of it. I think
They made Alan Wake. Holy shit! Okay, fair play. Legit. I liked Alan Wake.
So they made a lot of stuff. I have.
So the reason why I don't think they did. Oh, okay, they distributed it only. Shit, because Alan Wake was in development for a bloody long time.
So apparently, I have no idea how this works because we know THQ got dissolved, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it says here about THQ Nordic on Wikipedia, its core portfolio comprises products and brands which were acquired from other large publishers, such as from Joe Wood Entertainment. That was actually, they bought Blue Byte.
Mm-hmm.
And its former subsidiary Dreamcatcher Interactive in 2011, from THQ in 2011, and from Digital Reality and Nova Logic in 2016. So apparently they were founded in 2011 and then just bought lots of stuff. They're headquartered in Vienna, which is really weird for a company called THQ Nordic. I thought they would have been like in fucking Stockholm. But, I'm going to give it a chance.
Fair, yeah.
Because, I read the blog post and they, it's a completely new team. There's nobody on the Schleichfahrt team ever is left to this video games, I think. But they seem to have embraced the spirit, and I have hopes. Yeah, so Schleichfahrt AquaNox Deep Descent. As soon as this comes out, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna talk about it on the show. Right. So let's talk about the Expanse.
Yes.
So it's now on Netflix, and I've started a complete rewatch. And
so you're going back from season 1?
Yeah, I'm now I think I'm at episode 4 of season 2. Oh, it's so good looking. Oh my god, on Netflix. It's I don't even have like I have like just an HD TV.
Yeah.
But it looks like fucking 4K. Especially like in the second season looks so much better. I mean, the first one looked great. I mean, that was good stuff. But the special effects and like just the production values got so much better. And these gorgeous space scenes with the Rosie spinning around and all the stars in the background, and the Nauvoo. Oh, so good.
So like, are there like things you're picking up on again, or is it just like an enjoyable experience?
I've picked up on stuff. So I've noticed that I think since season 1 where they get to Eros, Daniel Abram and Ty Frank are in a shot. When Miller gets boards Eros for the first time, they leave they walk right in front of him. I'm like, I know this guy. What? There's lots of tiny things that I've picked up on now. That I haven't noticed before. I did appreciate that Netflix did not censor the sex scene in the airlock.
Fair.
So I could see everything now, which was that's a visual treat. A
visual tweet?
Yeah, I might have rewound that once or twice.
Naughty boy.
Oh god, I was just like, oh man, Thomas Jane is just amazing. Miller is great. My newfound love, or my rekindled love for Kaz Anwar. He's so good. That scene when he's like in the CQB episode, he's like, I want to wake up. It's so good. You know when they put him under.
Yeah.
The scene where Shad dies. Spoilers, obviously spoilers for The Expanse.
Why have you not watched it already, Jesus?
Yeah, what the fuck's wrong with you at this point? Seriously. Got no excuse. It's out on Netflix. Come on. it's just it is definitely the best show on TV since Firefly. And maybe I'm getting to the point where I like it more than Firefly now, which is probably also the time in my life.
Yeah,
but, I really like it.
I've been like comparing it, trying to work out like which one I prefer. I'm glad I live in a universe with both. I think the bits I didn't like in Firefly were always that it was a Western.
No, that's the stuff I like, dude.
Yeah, that's exactly. I know that's what you're gonna say because you love. Not a Western fan. But also there's like I don't know. There's still some more like charm. Like the Expanse is really good, but it's kind of like grimdark. Whereas like Firefly has charm. And, like, it's like,
charm.
But then we've got like 2 seasons of the Expanse, and we've got 1 season of Firefly in the film. So I don't know. I'm just happy that they've got both.
And I also like that the Expanse is grimdark.
Yeah,
I mean that's its thing.
Grimdark.
That's,
sometimes I don't want grimdark, but like I like grimdark.
That's its thing. I've really when I watched it the first time, I must admit I didn't think it was groundbreaking acting.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been appreciating it a lot more the more I watch it.
Yeah,
and I think there's some really, really good acting in it. I'm still really not a fan of Holden, but I think that's his character.
Yeah, yes.
I don't think that's Stephen Strait. I think that's his.
I think it's like good. It's good acting to make someone you're not supposed to like.
I think you're supposed to like him.
Really?
I think
like
we just don't like him.
In the book, I was kind of like didn't dislike him, but I never. He was a cool kind of point of view character that I liked. But in the TV series, I am like Ellie and I are watching it, and we're both like, "What the fuck is he doing? Why is he doing this? Why is he being such a prick?"
Yeah, but I don't think you're supposed to like. He's the actual like. If you analyze it,
he's like the main dude.
He's not only the main dude. He's the hero.
Yeah,
he's the only like if you get further into the story, you figure out that Naomi is not a hero. Miller obviously is the perfect anti-hero. Mm-hmm. Alex, yeah, but like he's not really, and Amos is obviously not a hero. So
yeah,
he's almost as much as an anti-hero as Miller is.
Why he's my favorite character?
So, but I think he does nail. I think the problem I'm having with the character of Holden, mm-hmm. which I also have in the book. So I think he nails the character.
Yeah. So we're agreeing. It's not like I'm angry at it because I'm angry at what the character's doing, not in the way that the actor's doing.
And you were angry in the book as well, I guess.
Yeah, which is like the complete opposite to like this season of Game of Thrones, which I think has been absolutely fucking dire. Bran Stark. Spoilers for Game of Thrones. Bran Stark comes back from the north, and he's become the Three-Eyed Raven, and does some really shitty lines. Literally, they're so bad that I like. There'll be a pause. So a character will say something to him, and then and there'll be a pause, and then I'll turn to Ellie and I'll say like what I think will be a parody of what he's going to say. In this point, he's going to say, "I'm the Three-Eyed Raven," and then he goes, "I'm the Three-Eyed Raven," and then we both look at each other like, oh, "For fuck's sake, why are we watching this?" Whereas like the for fuck's sake moments in the Expanse, like, "Oh my god, the character doing things I care about," rather than Jesus, there's a man doing terrible acting of terrible lines. So yeah, I think he's right. It's definitely the best TV.
I think I've been watching it, and up to this point, I've actually been watching it very thoughtfully because it's like my 6th time through, or whatever, right? And I don't think there's a bad line in it. The writing is you can say whatever you want about it. Like if you have problems with the acting, it's very low key acting in most places.
Yes,
which I think we're not used to, especially from television these days in the Game of Thrones era, or in something like Taboo, when Tom Hardy's completely over the top. I like that too, but The Expanse is very, very normal.
Yes,
like normal life kind of in that situation, which is actually amazing. But like with spaceships, but and the thing with Holden is everybody knows, and they keep reference that in the so there's a point. Okay, obviously spoilers. There's time codes in the show notes. Move on if you don't want to hear this. So Miller gets the idea to use the Nauvoo to knock Eros into the sun, right? And he tells Fred this plan, and then they get Holden and Naomi in, and Amos. And Holden says that's a terrible idea. That shit. Are you insane? And then Miller goes completely deadpan, blank face, goes, yeah, I guess we could just broadcast everything we know to the system and to the whole system and wait for the OPA and Earth and Mars to get together and sing Kumbaya. And you're like, yeah. So that's the same in the book. This he completely analyzes the prick Holden spin and how stupid he's been over the last, season and a half. And I think it's just, oh man, Thomas Jane is just obviously my favorite character. I don't need to say this, is Miller. And he is so good. I mean, he's good in the first season. He pulls the whole season. And I mean, I know a lot of people bounce off the Expanse because it's so slow. And now obviously I like Westerns and I like that storytelling. And this is like a noir. So it's kind of the same kind of storytelling.
Yeah.
Just with different themes. But he's really good in that. But season 2, he just completely fucking nails every scene. He's so good. I mean, you can already see it at the end of season 1, where they're he does fucking stuff with puking. When he just pukes in his hands. It's just so good. Oh god, if you haven't watched this, oh god, you have to watch it. Actually, there's an Expanse short story that came out this year, which I haven't read yet.
Oh shit! Okay. I'm not read that either.
Short story. Oh, and now I have to look it up, right? Oh god. Oh god, I nearly killed the recorder. I was so excited. I look up what it's called. Well, no, this is only the short stories. This is not a novella. Oh yeah, Strange Dogs. It's called. And actually, Persepolis Rising is out. It says here December 5th.
Oh my god!
So good. I mean, there's 3 books left.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a fear with the Expanse as a TV series.
Right.
Which is shit that happens. The shit that happens in books. Think it starts with. Is it Sybil Auburn? I think it's Sybil Auburn when they're on that other planet.
Yeah.
And then Babylon's Ashes, like the last book. The shit that happens on Earth. I have no fucking idea. I mean, they've upped their game in terms of CGI
you wonder is that just going to become a massive shit fest and not look great and feel unsatisfying?
I mean,
I don't know.
They need to get viewers, and they need to increase their budget until they get to that point. Yeah, because that's Hollywood level.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fucking cool, though, wouldn't it?
I mean, they've proven that they can do CGI with spaceships, I think.
Yeah, but not at that scale, really. They're going to need more. They're going to need more budget for more CGI. I don't know. Interesting. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait. Do we know when the season 3's out?
They are filming it right now.
Okay,
so based on their, I've following them for years on Twitter now, so I'm guessing it will be out beginning next year. That's how the last season worked, I think.
Yeah, that's good because I'm fiending for more. The more I'm thinking about it, being man, I wish there was more. That was Ellie's reaction when she finished season. I was like, oh wait, we have to wait another year.
Oh, you cut out season 2? Yeah.
Yes, that was. I think I just moved too far away from the microphone. That was the thing Ellie found finishing season 2 was there's there's not more. I've got to wait an entire year for this.
Yeah.
And we haven't really had that with anything else really. Like we had it with the end of season 1 of oh god, Man in the High Castle. We've not had it with like literally any other show apart from like the Great Pottery Throwdown, which is the Bake Off, but for pottery.
But then you bounced off Taboo, didn't you?
Yeah,
I have that with Taboo. I need more Taboo.
Oh,
I need more The
I
Expanse,
think
obviously.
I need to just get back into it because what happened is I stayed up until like 3 in the morning watching it, and then I've had a little bit too much whiskey, so I have literally no idea what happened in like the last episode I watched.
Well,
I don't remember what the last episode I watched was.
That's
so,
my good. That was my. Well, that was my second through. Like I was way too drunk. Yeah, you need to clear a weekend.
Yeah,
and watch that through in a weekend. It's bloody good. But yeah, The Expanse is amazing, and I want more too. But I'm still watching the second series again. So
yeah. And if you haven't watched the second series, like just sort your life out, mate.
Miller and his bomb, it's so good.
God,
it's so good. I love how they're weaving in all the little short stories. So they did there's like the Miller
Butcher of Anderson Station.
Yeah, they did that. But Amos mentions the Churn.
Yeah.
If you haven't read that, by the way, that is fucking amazing. That story. You like must love that.
Yes, that's like maybe one of the best bits I think in The Expanse. I think that's I just love that.
That's really good. And they mention they weave in the Drive. You know, where the Epstein thing.
Yes, they did. I completely forgot that.
Yeah, and
it was legit. It was a little bit. It was kind of a little bit jarring. Like once, oh my god, I know what's happening now. It's good, isn't it? Fucking, and it's just good. Fine, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow evening.
You should. What was the other thing they? I just remembered. When Amos talks to Cortazar, like the scientist. There's a short story there as well. Like they put that in with like his mother and how his mother died and whatever. Yeah. And then that is really well done. And by the way, one guy I really like as well is Kotya. Like his whole thing with Avazarala, they're just such a good team. Like they play like as a TV, like it works really good on TV. Like they really work well together as like basically as he has a sidekick, and they're like humor how it like works off each other. Oh, it's so good. Watch The Expanse. Okay,
do that.
The Switch,
The Switch. I got one. I managed to get one despite all of the problems with it being in stock.
Are they still like fucking Nintendo? Sort out your fucking supply chain. You fucking.
Yeah, they had the Nintendo Direct today, I think, and they basically were like, "Yeah, there are issues with some components." I'm like, "For fuck's sake, guys, just scale up." But I got one. There had been a couple of occasions. So I bought one 3 weeks ago. There were a couple of occasions before that I was like thinking about it. I was thinking the place I was staying in Bristol, there was like a shop across the road in Argos that like would in theory have it in stock. I was about to hit like buy and I will connect it like when I get back from where I was working. But in the time it took me to go, do I want it? It sold out. So eventually I was like, fuck it, Amazon. Click the button. When it's back in stock, they'll send it to me. So I got the one with the neon buttons, and I got it with Zelda and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I then picked up Sonic Mania, which everyone was going crazy about. And
there's Sonic on a Nintendo console. That it's doesn't that feel weird?
So here's the thing. So I wasn't really like I had a Game Boy, but it was my Pokemon device. I literally just had like Pokemon in all of the varieties and didn't really do anything else with it. I was never a Sonic person.
Me neither, by the way.
So never played it before. So it doesn't really feel weird to me because in my mind, Sonic, it's a character like Mario, presumably. And
this is because you're too young.
No, because there's quite a few people like my age that are really into it, and I'm like, cool, good for you. So, but yeah, so the Switch it's bloody fantastic. This is really, really nice.
And Dave's not easy to please.
I am not.
This
No,
shit.
So,
Not like me.
never had a Wii. I played a couple of bits on the Wii. Didn't really get on with the
You
Wii.
never had a Wii in
never
your
had a Wii.
life.
My
God.
I've got like a black hole bladder.
You must be straining.
And then the Wii U, housemate at university had it, so that's how I played Mario Kart 8 and just rinsed that game. But that was basically all I played on it. That had good games, but I always felt the hardware was really tacky. Like it was a horrible controller with the weird screen, just bullshit. But then the Switch came out, and I was like, oh man, this is a bit weird. Like, where are they going with this? But I am totally sold on it now. If you just think of it as a PSP, it's that. So I had a PSP, like the original one.
Right.
Rather than, like, they had some later revisions that didn't have the disc drive. I had the original PSP. I fucking loved that device. I used it until it broke. It was.
I think
like,
you're the only person I've ever heard that say.
Oh man! So
Fucking love my PSP.
You had like Wipeouts. You had Monster Hunter. You had like Tony Hawk games. God, there was a tiny downloadable Warhammer Kill Team game.
What?
Like it was legit. Like top tier.
It was legit, yo.
I loved that console. So once I just thought, man, if I just treat the Switch as a portable device, suddenly like all of the kind of preconceptions of like it being a console are gone. Because obviously it's not as powerful as like any of the other ones, because like it's got a screen and it's portable and there's a battery in there. You physically can't fit the computing of like a PS4 in it because it's just small. But it's just like so nice. They've kind of like got a really good user interface now. There's nothing that's pissing me off about like how things work really. It's all clean, nice, kind of responsive. Like the Xbox like is a really powerful PC, but still managed to have like a fucking laggy user interface, whereas this is like sharp. There's like a couple of very minor complaints that are literally just oh my god, I gotta press an extra button, how terrible. And the games are really, really good. Like it's a whole different kind of like style of game that I don't normally get into. So like on the PC I end up playing like grand strategy games and shooty things. But then there's like the joy of Mario Kart 8, which is like one of my favorite games of all time. So I'm going through
never
again.
played that. Like my last Mario Kart was the Mario Kart 64.
It's
that
totally
was amazing.
Yeah, you're gonna love 8. Like 8 is just joyous.
God, I'm gonna have to buy a Switch, haven't I?
Like I'll bring it to something and we'll play it because it's so good because you can just. I've not done it yet, but this weekend I'm going to take the Switch and we're going to play games. It's going to be lovely.
I will at some point. My problem is I've spent, and I'm shitting you not, literally all my money on this upcoming trip.
Yeah, but like it's the thing. If you know someone who has,
sorry, you cut out again. No, somebody who.
If you know someone who has a Switch, then you can like just borrow it or like just play some multiplayer. It's really
okay, Dave, send me a Switch now. I'm commuting. I need a Switch.
And then I got Zelda, which I'll probably get onto. But the kind of like, it's the commuting thing, because I've been like doing a bloody ton of traveling all by train, like doing multiple like long train journeys a week, and then being sat in hotels in the evenings, being bored out of my mind, being like, I could just watch. Like, there's only so much Hearts of Iron Let's Plays I can watch on YouTube. So I got it.
You really got into Hearts of Iron, right?
Yeah, like I'm so bad at it, Fab. I am literally the worst player in the world, but I enjoy it.
Well, I'm too. Don't
I do not understand navies. I do not understand air forces. Putting planes on boats to like for carriers just blows my mind. But I can handle land troops, and it's all fine. So yeah, like the Switch is like a lovely little break from that. I'm not a fan of the Mario. Jeez, I'm so bad. The Sonic mania, just because I have no feelings for Sonic.
I'm ambivalent.
Yeah, it's just like it's. I can see that. Oh man, this is kind of. If I was going to sit around and master it, I'd probably really enjoy it. But I'm not going to do that because I don't. It's just click.
So basically, Sonic Schmonic is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, fuck that. But the console itself is like it's got a decent build quality to it. The kind of.
Well, yeah, I know that. I mean, we had one for testing.
It's just really, it feels quite sturdy. The clipping in and out of the Joy-Cons, which is a stupid. It feels a lot nicer than I thought it would. I was expecting it to be quite flimsy, but they kind of slot in and slot out nicely. It's got a nice little kickstand, so you can like set it up on a table, which was quite useful. The battery life is better than I thought it would be because the 3DS friends had 3DSs at some point, and the battery life on that was god awful. Whereas this is like perfectly fine. It'll make a whole train journey of me playing Zelda, which is like good. It charges on USB-C.
Wow.
Which is
it's better than Apple.
That's the thing. Like, I'm like, if I get an Apple device, I have to get another thing. But if I got I can have like, 3 things that charge off USB-C, and I could be moving towards the future. It's so solid. So that's kind of enough about the thing. It's super portable, plays games wherever. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is basically just Mario Kart 8 from the Wii U, but with a couple of extra characters, which is pointless because what you want is Roy, and you want him in the pipe frame with small wheels. That's what you want.
What?
One of Bowser's minions.
For some reason, I thought you meant Roy from IT Crowd.
No. Like Roy. Like, his name's Roy. He's like Londoner. So we had this whole canon at university of like who Roy was, and we just chant.
Is he actually called Roy, or did you name him Roy?
No, he's called Roy. We would chant Roy. It was weird.
You were drunk. It's uni.
Yeah, definitely. So that's what you want. The new characters are less kind of interesting. They kept all the tracks the same. They've got the DLC from the Wii U one, which is good because I quite like those tracks. They kind of rebalanced some of the items, which I don't know how I feel about. So there's one new mechanic, which is like if you're drifting around corners, you can get the boost. On the Wii U one, I'm pretty sure there are only 2 levels of boost. Like the longer you drift for, the more boost you'll get. They've added an additional 3rd level, which is kind of fucking up some of my muscle memory of tracks. But that's just like a fun thing to refigure out tracks, which is nice. They've rebalanced the items, so I don't think they changed the blue shell frequency much. The blue shell, if anyone's not familiar, it's the.
Sorry, I thought out here for a bit. Is this Mario Kart meta?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am super into Mario Kart.
Okay. I can tell. Yeah.
The strategy I had in 8 was people complain about. So scrubs complain about blue shells because they're like, oh, picks on the person in the lead and you lose. Well, the answer to that is if you lose because you got blue shell and you're in the lead.
Sorry, you cut out again. Sorry.
So if you lose because you get a blue shell, someone firing a blue shell that hits the person in the front.
Right.
You've lost because you weren't far enough ahead. Because the AI is really easy.
Okay.
So, but there was this item called the boombox, which was basically a speaker that would like.
Whoa! This is blowing my mind.
Yeah,
we didn't have this on Nintendo 64.
Yeah, so it's an area effect like thing. You put the boombox to the ground, and then like sound waves come out, and it'll knock people off who are sat next to you. But importantly, if you do it at the right time, you can destroy blue shells and red shells that are coming for you. So you get that item and you hold that item for like the entire race. So when there's like the 1 or 2 blue shells that are gonna like fuck you up.
Sorry, I need to interject here again. Has Mario Kart now turned into Dota 2? It sounds like Dotes. It's
because you're holding items. I suppose it is a little, but like it's just like yeah.
In my day, there were just cards and like maybe turtle shells, and that was it.
Mm. Yeah, so you hold the blue shell. You hold the boombox as the counter to the blue shell for as long as you can, like just completely destroying like the AI, and then when there was a blue shell, destroy the blue shell, and you carry on, and like there won't be many in them. There'll be like 1 or 2 in a race. Sometimes there's none. It's fine. In Deluxe on the Switch, it's different. So I don't think there's a different amount of blue shells. I feel like the boombox is more rare. At least when you're in first, it's more rare, which is kind of annoying.
How much have you played this game?
So on the Wii U, I played like over 100 hours.
You cut out again. How much?
So my microphone's being really weird today. Because I can see on Discord that it's not me losing a connection. It's just my microphone just isn't activating for some reason. Weird. It's like over 300 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a ghost which I don't remember from 8 at all. I think it's maybe from one of the kind of DS ones. And it's a ghost that will like take your item away, which is super annoying because if you're holding the boombox and someone uses the ghost, like you lose the boombox. So that's like your defense gone. So it's just like another like it's kind of cool because it makes it more challenging, which is nice.
Shit, we should have done a special. I just realized we should have done a special show about Mario Kart ages ago, dude. I never knew this.
Yeah, that's basically Mario Kart 8. If you've played the previous Mario Karts, it's very similar, but like slightly different bits. The music is still fantastic in it. It's got like one of the best soundtracks.
It's still
yeah, like but it's like rather than like chiptune now, like there's like full orchestras and stuff, and it's just like I'll like walk around and just like be humming Mario Kart theme tunes. I'm like, oh man, I'm like humming Rainbow Road or whatever. It's just so nice. I love Mario Kart. It's fucking great.
But they're not chip tunes anymore, right? Back on the Super Nintendo and the 64, I was like,
yeah, they're good. They're really good. Like I'm pretty sure they're on. I'm pretty sure they're on Spotify anyway.
right.
So they're worth listening to. But yeah, I got Zelda as well, which everyone lost their shit about. Being like, Game of the Year. They've made the best World's game in the history of all.
It sounds like you're not agreeing. What?
I never really liked Zelda. I never really got on with them. Like I Game Boy, and never completed it. I played Wind Waker HD on the Wii U, and I felt that was kind of playing on nostalgia. But
you just keep cutting out. What the hell?
What? I don't understand.
Now your internet's great. Now your microphone's breaking. What
bullshit. Yeah. So basically, I do think it's great. I'm not sure if it's like the most groundbreaking like open world ever, but it is really, really good. Like, it's kind of like Ubisofty, and there's things on the map that not on the map, but there's things in the world that you have to go do, and like clearing them up is fun. I quite like that. It is a beautiful game. I know I took the piss about like the aliasing on like some of the textures.
You weren't the only one.
Yeah, when you're actually playing it, you don't notice it, and if you're playing it in handheld mode, it's good. Like handheld mode, like always play in handheld mode. Like never, I've connected to the TV once to see what it did, but in handheld mode, you just don't notice the texture things. It's just fine because it's just you're moving around so quickly. Like you get the horse and the little like interactions you have with the horse to make it your friend. That's just like really cute. I'm really liking Zelda. I don't really have like loads to say about it because like I'm not like a Zelda. I'm not like a huge Zelda fan, but it's way better than I thought it would be, which is cool. So yeah, I think the Switch is like. Yeah, I definitely prefer the Switch to like the Xbox. I feel like I've already got more fun out of it than I have like with the Xbox One that I've had for 2 years. Because like the Xbox One was like the Halo machine and
you're a real Xbox
and the Rocket League
fan, actually.
Yeah, but this is just like it's like pure joy in some of the games. And I found there's a racing game called like Fast RMX. It's basically Wipeout. Which I don't think like I don't even know who has the license for Wipeout anymore, but I'm almost certain that some people who worked on Wipeout.
THQ Nordic.
Really?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh my god. It's Fast RMX. See who did it.
Wasn't it Wipeout is from the UK, right?
Yeah, Wipeout's like made up north. But it just looks like if you look at screenshots of it, it looks like Wipeout.
THQ up north.
I want to pick that up because I quite like racing games and I loved Wipeout. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have like power-ups and weapons. It just has like boosts, which is kind of cool. I kind of like the raw racing bit of it because I liked Wipeout, but I was never good at it. Whereas if there's no weapons, I think I'll cope better. There will inevitably be an Animal Crossing game, so I get to play Cap. I get to be oppressed by Tom Nook. Yeah, it's legit great. I'm loving it.
Why is he oppressing you in what?
So have you not played Animal?
No.
Okay, so Animal Crossing, I think first came out on the GameCube, At least the first one I remember. And it is a game where you are an adorable, you're like a tiny person, and you're like going around in a world where there's like tiny, like you've all got massive anime heads.
Yeah,
you wander around the world, you're farming shit. And you have a house. And the guy who's like in charge of building upgrades in your house, like building extra rooms, like putting in new floors, his name is Tom Nook, and he is like the embodiment of the man and the system. In that you're like, he'll be like, "Oh man, you've moved into town. I built you a house. Oh, you owe me like 100,000 credits." You're like, "No," and then you'll finish building. You'll pay off the loan, and he'll be like, "Do you want to upgrade?" It's literally the most.
Is he
thing.
a badger?
God, he's Tom. What is he? I don't even know what Tom Nook is.
Based on a raccoon.
Yeah, he's a raccoon, isn't he? Oh no, so he's a tanuki, which is like weird. Basically a raccoon.
Fucking capitalist raccoons.
Yeah, so he'll like upgrade your house, and then you'll be in debt. So run the store, so you have to like buy everything.
So it teaches you how the world works, basically.
Yeah, it teaches you that you'll like never be free, which is kind of cool. But it's just like a fun game where you get to build a town and do cute little things and buy turnips. It's good. I can't wait for that.
There's a meme of him with the Bane mask. After you've repaid your debt, then you have my permission to die.
Yeah. Basically, that entirely sums up Tom Nook.
Forever alone.
There was some rumors of Tony Hawk's Underground 2 coming out on like the eStore for like a remake of that. It's just like loads of cool games that like aren't on other things, which is nice because that's like the thing with the Xbox is that like basically everything on the Xbox I can get on the PC. Really, like most console games are also on the PC these, apart from like Halo and shit. Even then, I wouldn't be surprised if Halo tries to come out on the dual purchase thingy, so you get it on like one, you can play it on the other.
Right.
But this has just like cool different games. Like there'll probably be an Ace Attorney game. I imagine they'll go Pokemon. It's going to be interesting to see. Like they've not killed the 2DS and the 3DS yet, but I can't see why they'd keep them around anymore. Because like I suppose these are like this is more expensive. You wouldn't want to give it to a kid, but it for everyone else it seems kind of like why'd you keep the 2DS or whatever. So yeah, I bloody love it. It's fantastic.
Sounds good.
Really, really happy with the purchase. Zero regrets, which is quite rare.
Cool. I'm really surprised that you prefer I like it better than the Xbox. That's big praise. So, are you using it much like in the stationary mode?
No, I've done it once.
Okay.
I've set the thing up. I rearranged the back of the TV to get it all plugged in. And I just used it once and went, and then just used it in handheld.
Right.
Like,
okay. Yeah. That's how I would see myself using it.
Yeah. Like if Ellie's doing something, I can like sitting on I can be sitting on the sofa and not have hog the TV on the space.
While you were going on about that, I found out that one of the guys who did some programming on Schleichfahrt is on Twitter.
Oh my god!
At Jorius, I just tweeted him. While you were talking, I dug out the box, my Schleichfahrt box.
Yeah.
Took a picture. I'll put a link in the show notes. Anyway, sorry. I got a bit distracted there. Also, I tried not to listen too closely to you because I don't have the money to buy a Switch. I can't be buying a Switch right now.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think I see it having a long future. There's lots of games to play now. There aren't like a billion things coming out at once, but there's a constant drip of things, which like I'm trying to like just play through things on it. So I want to like just complete Mario Kart and then be like, I've done Mario Kart.
Right.
I want to play Zelda.
Can you complete Mario Kart?
In this kind of. You can unlock all the vehicle components. You can complete all the races, all the cups, and the key thing is that I have to get 3 stars on everything.
Yeah, okay. I never managed that. I don't think I'd ever complete all the cups on the 64.
So it's just I
played that for years.
You got to win every race and come first in every. And then the cool thing with Deluxe was they added the DLC that adds the 200cc mode. So normally you have the 50cc, the 150cc, so the 50, the 100, the 150, and the mirror mode, which is 150 but in like mirrored.
Yeah.
But they added 200cc, which is really cool because it entirely fucks, like, if you've got like routes planned, like this is how I take this corner on this map, it entirely fucks with you on like Rainbow Road and stuff because you're going so much faster. Like it just makes you go faster. But suddenly you have to like actually brake. Sometimes you have to like you have to do it differently, which is just like nice. I like it because sort of 150cc is kind of like a thing you just do. Well, at least I do. I just turn my brain off and just like bash out a few cups in that, and it's good.
Why do you have to turn your brain off?
Well, it's not like I don't have to, but it's a thing that I don't have to like be actively like, oh my god, I've got perfect like muscle memory. Give it a go. See if I get 3 stars.
Right.
It's just fun. It's like it's most self-contained. Like I will do a cup, and then be done.
Yeah, Mario Kart. I haven't played the new ones, but it's always been like that. It's just been amazing for just like playing it, a short bit. So I guess it's great on the Switch for that reason as well, right?
Yes, and it boots up so fast. That's another like nice thing is that the you can kind of put it in like power saving modes, like it'll just like be asleep and it'll go quickly. But even if you turn it like properly off, it boots up really fast, which is nice. I assume because it's all like flash memory and stuff, so it seems like pretty small memory wise. I'm probably going to add space on it, I think.
Right.
But we'll see how it goes.
How is it with software updates?
I installed a software update today. There are many software updates.
Okay, so it's good.
Yeah, people do seem to be complaining about all the online functionality. It's a Nintendo game. Online functionality is bad. I've not tried playing anything online, so I've not got Splatoon 2 or ARMS or anything like that. So I've not really done online. But yeah, that's not what I wanted for. Like that's for PC.
Right. Sorry, I'm just now linking people on Twitter to Schleichfahrt on GOG because they can't find it. It's just so good. Look at that box, by the way, that I tweeted.
Cool. It's also in like really quite good condition.
It's I like this game so much that I've thrown all my game boxes away, all of them. Like I've kept some stuff that was in them, like maps and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But that is the only game where I kept that box 21 years old.
Wow. That box is in better nick than most 21-year-olds.
Yeah. It's just, oh god, I just need to find that. I think the problem is that if you search for it, like you can't find it under Schleichfahrt.
Right.
The German version is also called Echimedian Dynasty, but you can download the German downloader. And I'm just telling somebody on Twitter. Okay, there's a link. Which installer? This is German tweeting live on the show. Funktioniert. Super. That's your German lesson for the day. Works perfectly.
Excellent.
God, I just love this game so much. It's so good. Anyway, I think that's all the topics.
The feedback. Yeah.
Let's do the feedback.
We had one bit of feedback from Discord from Pepper J, who said, "Finally listening to the latest episode, and hooray for Mega Slippers! Finally a decent internet connection, I hope." It seems pretty good.
Now your microphone's fucked.
I think it's just because I've not positioned it correctly, and I can't just be like leaning back in my chair and just sort of like fading away. I don't know. I'll double check that. Might be some weird Discord thing, but the internet thing is so good. Steam is so fast installing.
Oh, it's good, right? I've just been, since I've got the fiber thing, I've just been like I have a relatively small hard drive.
Yeah,
just like a terabyte or whatever, and there's lots of other shit on it, like photos and shit. So I'll just I just keep deleting games, and I'm like, oh, I want to play this. It's like I bought American Truck Simulator and the Humble thing.
Yeah.
And the Humble bundle, and I was like, oh, maybe I want to play Euro Truck Simulator. Okay, just click the button. Hey, it's there. It takes longer to install because it's not on an SSD than it takes to download.
Yeah, it's great. It's like, well, when I'm dumping like photos into Dropbox, so, like the way I'm doing it is like I take all my photos on my camera, like take like 20 gig of like raw files. I will then like look at those, find the ones I like. They'll maybe be like I hit like maybe like 10% of the photos I take. I actually
Do you delete the rest?
No, so I'll
I just
like,
import them all to Lightroom.
Import them all into Lightroom, like they're on my local hard drive. When I've got ones I like, I'll export them as like high-res JPEGs. They'll go on Flickr and they'll get backed up on Dropbox. It used to be that I'd like drop like 100 like massive JPEGs in Dropbox, and Dropbox would just be like, fuck. And now it's just like it takes longer to index the files.
Don't you keep the RAWs?
I do keep the RAWs locally on my hard drive, but I don't put them in Dropbox.
All right.
Because I've got a terabyte of Dropbox space, but like when you go like 1 week on holiday is 20 gig of raw files. Like it's quite big. So yeah, it's just lovely, like being able to do things, and like all the YouTube videos just immediately are in like 1080p immediately, like no weird buffering. I noticed my phone is more responsive now. Like you open things and it turns out the things I was fucked off about was it just being slow. Like
like on your internet at home?
Yeah. Like I was like open Twitter and be like, man, Twitter's opening fast these. Oh, it's because
why is everything so shit? Oh, it's just my internet connection.
Yeah, it's great. I'm loving it. Yeah, it's super good. I'm so happy with it. I think I've paid the first bill for it. I'm not too sad. So.
And it's worth it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Internet's great.
We had feedbacks on the tweeters. Will.
Didn't you do? You already. Oh, that was the feedback. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Will sends us a lovely photo of a shipping. What the fuck? A ship shipping ships.
That is that thing we were talking about. The barge thing.
The barge thing that is carrying other barges that are carrying. Oh my god.
I think they're just like, they're not finished ships, but it's fucking that thing.
They're like keels, but
actually the thing we were talking, that's the Marlin, right? Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, it's the Marlin. That's the big. It just blows your mind. I've seen the thing. Hamburg Harbor has these huge cranes. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're like in all harbors, but here they're very pronounced. If you drive into town, you'll drive through the harbor if you come from the south, which is where you're coming from, because it's in the north of Germany. And you see these huge cranes that they use to get the containers of the ships.
Yeah.
And I've once seen pictures of they buy them in China, I think. The ship that ships those cranes. It's just fucking insane. You'd think how does that, if there's any waves, how does that not sink? What if there's wind? What the hell is going on?
Oh,
so good.
Yeah. Some sort of gyroscopic
stuff
bullshit to keep it on course.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm just sorry. I'm looking at Twitter again. The Schleichfahrt box. One other thing where I kept it has this cutout.
Mm-hmm.
You probably can't remember this, but there's all these stickers of these gaming magazines on there. When you had all the gaming magazine awards.
Yeah. Like the PC Gamer, it was the PC Gamer Game of the
Year. Yeah. Game of the Year, gold, PC Player gold. Yeah. Oh, so good. Anyway, shall we? Are you waiting for me to read the next feedback?
Yeah.
I didn't get that. Malkavian says, just catching up on episode 44 of Geek News Radio. Totally with Fabs read the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Sick of seeing the same thing now. That's good, because sometimes I do wonder if I'm the only one, because everybody's the new Marvel movie, amazing, gonna watch it. They're it's nice to hear.
Yeah. And then he also said, Mega Slippers TV show you were thinking of is Spawn, I believe. Yes.
Comic,
definitely.
right? Comic/TV show.
Yeah.
I need to interpret for you when you cut out. Sorry, it keeps doing that.
Fucking microphone. I'm gonna cry. So yeah, it's the one with Malbolgia and the weird bonkers artwork.
Yep,
that's the one.
I think wasn't Joe like humming the Ring Raiders theme tune for a week after our show?
Yeah, he was.
Another tweet from Arcavian. Oh no, that was the one you just read. My brain is too much Schleichfahrt on the brain. Joe, speaking of Joe, he was sending us the app. So the Citadel app's coming out on Saturday, I think. Because they launch everything on Saturday.
If you install it in the first some amount of time, I think you get entered into a competition to win some free paints. So I'm gonna install it.
Hey, you won Poop Brown.
Yeah.
So Joe has one that's called Paint Rack.
Yes, I have installed it.
I was going to say, have you looked at it?
It is really good. It's got like a nice barcode scanner. So rather than like manually entering all the paints, I just sat down and scanned all the barcodes.
Oh, it's like one of those dieting apps.
Yeah.
Or the one Katie has all these apps that tells you if there's like microplastic, microplastic?
Yeah, the little beads, right?
I've just learned about that like a month ago or something.
Oh,
it
was a
evil beads. They're in everything. Sounds like something. This shit sounds like something No Agenda made up. And you're like, what? This? Apparently they're real. Yeah.
So Paint Rack, go forth, buy it. It's free, but you can like pay money to remove adverts or whatever. It's legit. I like it. See how it goes.
Does it tell you if there's microplastic in the paint?
I don't think it does. But what if we should request that feature?
Definitely.
Mike sent us a thing which requires reading. Jesus.
God, yeah, that was. Oh, yeah, I put that in. So basically, I put it in. So why not? He found we were talking on episode 4. Was that episode 44? I don't know. I think he means 45, right?
Maybe.
I don't know. But basically, it was just
about stuff.
Something I found interesting, which is basically so this is a tweet. A guy tweets a story saying, guys, I found the UK's comparative advantage. Should move more resources into this sector. The story about Games Workshop. So the company that used to be the biggest gainer in the FTSE, in the FTSE All Share Index, was Cass Minerals PLC, which I think is a mining company.
Mm-hmm.
And they got replaced by Games Workshop. So basically, after Brexit, the only thing you have left, you don't have car manufacturers. You haven't had them for decades. You've got nothing. The banks are all moving to Frankfurt. The only thing you've left is Warhammer.
Games Workshop.
Warhammer is your industry number one now.
We'll move to Citadel paints as our currency.
I am laughing at you, right? But it'll break my neck when I have to pay taxes on this.
Yes.
Mike and me will be bleeding from our ears for a plastic crack, and you'll be laughing your ass off.
But then we'll be really poor when we try to buy anything else.
And I'll be sitting on a boat eating burgers.
I'll be sitting in the ruins of a country.
You should move to Hamburg. It's awesome.
I should move to Dublin.
It's also really cold here.
Oh, okay. I mean,
because it rains a lot. You would actually quite like it. Although you didn't like the damp in Sky, right?
I don't know. So we kind of hit a particularly it rained for a week.
In Scotland?
Yeah.
It rained for the week that I was there.
Occasionally there is sun. So last year when we went to Scotland, we had we had rain, but we had bits of sun where things dried out, like our boots dried out. But my walking boots got damp once. I stood in a slightly too deep bed of mud, and they just got drenched, and they did not dry out for days. So I was just like, "Can I please just have some dry weather, please?"
Yeah, we have the periods where stuff dries out in Hamburg. It just gets wet again all the time. This is actually too cold for me here, but I like this town so much. Move to Hamburg. It's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, we got no email feedback.
That's fine, because they're doing the tweets. They're taking Charles' advice.
That's good.
Do the tweets. If you do find something that requires more than 100 characters, you can email us at I'm a little bit drunk, Fab. So, yes. GNR at sixgun.org. You can tweet us both at Geek News Radio.
You should be drunk, by the way. I'm at Fabsh, Fabsh, Foxtrot Alpha Bravo Sierra Hotel on Twitter.
I'm at Mega Slippers. I'm drunk because I got some Teeling's small batch whiskey, and it's really strong.
Oh, you switched. Yes.
I did, because I can't be bothered making another cocktail.
Isn't tea?
No, it's Teeli. It's the one from Dublin. It's legit really good. I have to kind of like hide it away.
So what?
Well, then it's expensive.
You cut out.
Oh, fuck's sake!
So you don't drink it all? Yeah.
So I don't drink it all quickly. Like I put it at the back.
Right.
I can watch my microphone.
Yeah.
Not me talking. I'm like, voice connection is great. It's like
this is like emulating your internet troubles. Even my compressor can't fix that.
There's a Facebook group.
Could it be that your cable is fucked? Oh no, you use USB, right?
I do use USB, and it's not moved. That's the thing.
No, it can't be the cable if it's USB there. Then it wouldn't work at all.
Yeah.
It wouldn't know. I'm not working.
Yeah, it would not be plugged in. We have a Facebook group where nothing really happens. We've got a Steam group.
Oh, bumping my microphone. I'm sorry.
Damn it. Here's the thing. Did this problem start after I banged the table?
Maybe.
That might be it. I might end up just going checking all the connections back. We have a Discord where there's many chats. People sharing photos.
Just need to bang the table again.
Fuck this. Chat about Sabaton, memes, all that jazz. It's good shit. Also, we've got YouTube where you post videos of stuff. Although
sometimes,
yeah,
not for a while. I'll be like, I'm not that if I'm not tweeting in October. I'm just like roaming in Australia is probably not doable. Fiji, forget it. Like we're going to a place. So a friend of ours, been there a few years ago. She's like, you only have power for like 2 hours in the evening.
What?
So I'm traveling light, and I'm like I'm taking my camera, and I'm taking my phone, but I'm not using it. I'll just take my camera, and I'll just take a number of SD cards and just fill them up. Yeah.
Good plan.
So low tech. So don't worry if I'm gone.
I don't know if I mentioned it last week. But I did do an XCOM stream, which I then recorded as well.
Oh, so you did that? Yeah, I saw that you were saying that it was screaming.
So I've got chucked up some 3 videos, I think.
Did everybody die?
No, surprising. A couple of people died. One guy died really fucking stupidly. Turns out it will not pathfind around fire.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got very grumpy at him.
Welcome to XCOM.
So I'm gonna probably play a little bit more. But I might not stream it all. I might just record some as well. But it's good. I'm gonna aim to do some of that maybe while you're away.
Cool. Keep people entertained.
Yeah, keep the content coming
while I'm in the sun.
That was another thing with the internet being so fast is that I just so I didn't trust the Twitch upload thing. Because I was sort of testing out internet connection. So I was also recording it at the same time. And it was making 4 gigabyte files. And I remember when that was what I used to upload, and thinking, oh man, I've got to compress this shit. I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just going to upload it. And it just works. Just upload 8 gigabytes of video. It's amazing.
Huh.
So that's it, I think.
Long live the good internet.
Hopefully, my microphone is better next time.
Geh polier dein Torpedorohr.
Hack the planet.